Hey friends, I'm here at Parris Island, South Carolina, home of the Marine Corps boot camp. My grandson just graduated from Marine Corps boot camp. And while it might seem like an unusual place to have a pantry preparedness chat, I promise, I really do, it's the perfect backdrop. If you're new here, my name is Lisa. This is SuttonsDaze, and we are all about pantry preparedness. The Marines are trained for survival, routine, and readiness. So things that literally every single preparedness-minded person can learn from. So today I'm breaking down what military food discipline can teach us about staying ready at home, no matter what comes our way. Number one, let's talk about MREs, okay? And why do they matter? Why do MREs matter? So an MRE, you hear it all over the place now, meal ready to eat, and it's used by military in the field. Is it the same as going, to moms? No, it's not, but it is nutrition. So it's designed specifically for long shelf life, high calories, no refrigeration, and durability. Now, a lot of civilian life people try to replicate MREs by making their own. And this is pretty much done with freeze-dried food, okay, DIY shelf-stable meals, and pantry meal kits. That is the civilians' attempt at an MRE, only they tend to taste better. Definitely worth looking into, definitely worth attempting. Is it something that I do a lot of? No, it's not. I do use freeze-dried foods. I don't make meals out of them. I don't make MRE type, stuff out of them. But if that's something that you're into, go for it. A lot of people talk about meals in a jar, right? To me, a meal in a jar is called soup or stew, period. But there are a lot of people that make freeze-dried, combinations of ingredients and put them in a jar. So all you have to do is theoretically add water. There's a lot of different takeaways from that that people attempt to do. So find one that works for you if you are interested in it. You can model your emergency pantry on MRE simplicity and efficiency. That is probably my key takeaway. The more simple and efficient that your pantry is, that your food storage is, the better off you're going to be. I know this is a hard one for a lot of folks, okay? It's discipline over emotion. Let that sink in for a minute. Discipline over emotion. Marines follow systems, not feelings. They are trained to follow systems, not feelings. It's very important considering the conditions that they are put into. And when you think about the potential for emergency situations in our lives, and we're all different. We are all different. Depending on where you live, what your home life is like, what your job life is like, what your, weather situations are in your area, it's all completely different. So what as preparedness people we should do is pretty much the same as they do, okay? Figure out how to create routines and systems, not feelings. Different things that you can use to do this are checklists. I am a checklist crazy person. I use checklists for everything, okay? So checklists are huge. Practice monthly pantry rotation. That's a really big one because I've said it before, if you're not using it, you are throwing money away. You have to rotate what's in your pantry. Definitely inventory consistently. Make it a priority. Because if you don't know what you have, you don't know what you need, and during an emergency is not the time to find out. So that is your routine and your system right there. A real simple takeaway for this is that a prepared pantry isn't built on panic. You cannot build anything on panic. It's built on habit. Do it like the Marines do it, my friends. Routines and systems, not feelings. Next is field-tested simplicity. I know, and this is all pantry related. That's probably one of my favorite things about it, right? Military rations are simple, practical, and nutrient dense. That's what our meals should be. Simple, practical, nutrient dense. Yes, every now and then you can go foo-foo, okay, but Your pantry, your staples, the thing that's going to get you through the difficult times and the hard times is not Eggs Benedict, you know. It's going to be eggs. It's going to be probably scrambled eggs and dry toast. So find that simple, practical, and nutrient-dense manner in which to stock your pantry. That is, I hope, how a lot of us eat anyway, you know, but you have to break it down. Not everybody does French cuisine all the time, you know, and if you do, rock on, great. But figure out a way to make it simple, practical, and nutrient-dense. Avoid overcomplicating the food storage with too many extras, okay? You want the basics. You want the ingredients. You want the things that you know you eat. Don't overcomplicate it with too many extras. Simple as to ask, is your food fuel or is it just nice to have, you know? Because we have an overconsumption issue, definitely in this country, but nice to have is one thing, but it needs to be a fuel that fuels your body, that fuels your mind, okay, that isn't trying to kill you. So be very cognizant of what kinds of foods you're putting in your pantry. Pack with purpose. Pack it with purpose. So this is whether you are packing your pantry, whether you're packing a go bag, whether you're packing a bug out bucket or something like that, okay? Pack with purpose, keep it practical. Pack with purpose, keep it practical. It was fun coming up with these sayings. Okay. Something that I regularly battle with is that I am fascinated and love minimalistic lifestyles. And I do not ever see myself being able to get there. But at the same time, I kind of went, but how do you have a minimalistic lifestyle and a prepared pantry? That's always been one of those quandaries that I deal with, right? Marines carry everything they need in a compact space. You don't need a 4,000 square foot house. It's amazing what you can put into small spaces. You can build your own grab-and-go kits for food, right? No-cook meals, high-calorie snacks, zip-top bags with a full day's worth of food in it. That's totally doable. You have to spend a little time and a little thought on it, okay? Great for bug-out bags, vehicle kits, or even power outages. We're all having to deal with some of the most wacky weather, you know? And so having these kits put together with a day's worth of food figured out in advance, freeze-dried food, you know, whatever it is that you eat in these kits, rotate through them, okay? You don't just set them in there and walk away. It just is another step to being better prepared and on top of your game. Being on top of your game is big. A real simple takeaway for this one I want you to think about is to store smart. We all have room. I know a lot of people are always telling me, I don't have room, my house is too small. No, I know you have room. I know you have room, okay? Your priorities need to be rearranged, but I know you have room. Think mobility and space efficiency. It may take you some time sitting in there looking at it, figuring out, guess what? I've had that bookshelf full of magazines for 30 years, and yeah, I haven't looked at one of them in at least 10. Guess what you're wasting? A whole bunch of space. If you have a guest bed that literally nobody sleeps in 364 days a year, you're wasting space. If you live in an RV, if you live in a mobile home, if you live out of your car, there are ways to make it happen. There are definite ways to make it happen. People are literally living out of their cars. You can do it, okay? So think mobility and space efficiency. Also remember, safety is key. If you are living in some place like this, my face is not red because of a reflection from the shirt. My face is red because I spent a few hours out in the direct sun watching a graduation. This kind of heat, yeah, this is wicked. So leaving food in your car, no matter what it is, not a good idea. But if you don't work at home, you can carry a purse. You can carry a backpack. Take it there, take it back. You know, you can figure things out. If you do live in a climate like this, then it's not that you can't stock a pantry, it's that you may not have it last as long as I do, okay? I live in a very temperate climate, unless it's winter. And then I have to make sure it's warm so that everything doesn't freeze. Down here, you just really got to find the coolest place that you can. There are ways to do it, okay? It does, if your air conditioning goes out and you don't have air conditioning for a month, you don't have to throw all the food in your pantry out. It just means that you have shortened that shelf life. That's all that it means. It means that it's a little more challenging. That's what you have to take into consideration. That is, again, why I love Thrive Life foods, because they're freeze-dried and because as long as they are kept in the can and not in direct, like, heat in a shed or a garage or a car, you'll be fine. Your canned foods, same thing. They'll be fine. They just won't last you maybe 10 years. They'll last you 5 years. You know, you have to go in an inventory, and that's another reason to inventory all the time. So just store smart for where you are, for the conditions that you're in. Think mobility and space efficiency. You've got this. Whether you're a Marine or a mom or a grandma, okay, preparedness is about showing up ready. It's about making yourself and your household and your people ready every single day. There's a million excuses. There's a million excuses why you can't. Now it's time to start making up the excuses why you can. If you want to build a food storage system that is practical, portable, and truly ready for anything, truly, okay, stick with me. We'll figure out different ways to make it happen. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Let me know in the comments, what is your favorite version of a civilian MRE? Because there's all kinds out there. Be sure to check out this playlist right here that talks about small space storage. Until next time, everybody, be safe. Stack it to the rafters, my friends.